Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to come to you today to do a highly requested in-depth eyeshadow tutorial. I've gotten a lot of questions about certain eyeshadow techniques and how to do it and what's the best ways to do it, the best products, things like that, brushes. So I figured I might as well take this time to do a really super glam Valentine's Day look. So if you want to see how I achieve that look, then keep watching. Just going to conceal my eyes. And this is prepping it to get ready to do my eyeshadow. And this gives you an even base to do so. And I just take my beauty sponge, my Real Technique beauty sponge, and it's a little damp. And I just use it to smooth out the concealer, any harsh lines, any creasing. I'm going to take my Laura Mercier and I'm just going to use that to set my eyelids. And that way when it's time to put on my eyeshadow, it blends better. I'm actually going to go in, and this is a new one for me. I'm going to go into the Juvia's Place Zulu palette. And I just got this. I took advantage of their 40 off weekend and picked up this. So I think it was $12 or $14 if I'm not mistaken. I paid $16 with shipping, so about 12 or 14. And just look at these colors. I figured these two right here are like perfect colors for Valentine's Day. I may even touch in here a little bit, but I love these glittery colors. Okay, so I'm going to take this yellow right here, and that's going to be my transition color. And I'm going to take that on a pretty fluffy brush. This, like, the bigger the fluff on the brush, or the bigger the brush, the more blending you're going to do, like the more coverage you're going to get. So if you go a little smaller, it'll get more precise with your eyeshadow. I tend to gravitate towards smaller brushes because I have smaller eyelids, and especially once I get to my lid, you see where my crease is, because I have hooded eyelids. So usually I'll get a big fluffy brush and that'll start me off. So I'm going to this yellow, and if you can see that, that's very pigmented. And I'm going to start above my crease, hitting my eye. And this is always where you want to put your transition color. And the transition color is just like your base for everything else. So this, once you put this down, this is going to help the rest of your eyeshadows blend. And if you notice, I'm doing like circular motions, and this kind of just helps put the eyeshadow where I want it, which again is like where my eye socket kind of is. If I wanted to like dig in my eye, you can see where it stops. So right where my eye socket stops. And it's okay if you're a little messy with this. You can always clean it up later. Also, the further down the brush you hold it, the lighter the application. And a lot of times you may have to build up eyeshadows. Not every eyeshadow is going to be super pigmented, especially depending on your skin tone. Another trick that you want to do is, no matter what color you're dealing with, you always want to blend, you want to build it up. So even if you're dealing with the lightest color or the darkest color, especially if you're dealing with a dark color, you want to build it up. So you want to start with a light hand at first. So what I usually do is I'll tap the shadow a couple of times and then I'll knock it off. And if you notice, probably not right now, but if you notice, you'll see a little fall off. and then you just start building, and you just keep adding more until you get your desired pigmentation, because it's better to add, it's easier to add than to take away. Basic math. Okay, so this is what happened. I was filming my look. It didn't necessarily go the way I wanted it to. So I took it off. So that's why the rest of my face is done. You can see some glitter. You can see a little purple, little pink action going on. I tried. It didn't work. I didn't like it. So I'm gonna start all over. So luckily my face is done. Didn't really have to mess that up. Boom. But the eyes were just not what I wanted at all, and I was a little disappointed. Trying out some new palettes, and they were okay, but they didn't give me the look I was going for. So we're gonna do this again. So I'm priming my eyelids again. They're a little tender from wiping so hard. This glitter was a chore. And I think I'm gonna, you know, I'm a glutton for punishment. I think I'm gonna go for it again. So I'm going in with this pink, this dark pink color. That's gonna be first, because I want to start out really light-handed on this and build it up.
Mommy!
Hey, Jaden.
I thought you were supposed to stream.
No, I'm here.
What are you making?
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my concealer, and I'm going to cut my crease halfway. So I'm going to do a half cut crease, and I'm going to start from the inner corner, and I'm going to go a little above my actual crease because it's kind of small. I have very hooded eyes. Maybe not very. It's not the worst case I've seen, but my lids are small. I'm just doing it halfway into my eye. You want to be as precise as possible when doing this, so you can have a nice crisp line. And you want to make sure that the concealer is tacky. You don't want to have a lot to where it'll get caked up or to cause your eyeshadow to move around. You want it to be tacky so that when you put your eyeshadow on top of it, it kind of just sticks. So now I'm going to go in back into that Zulu palette. I'm going to try this again, and I want to use this glittery pink color they have in here. It's what I used the first time I tried this look, but we're going to try it again. And I'm going to go in with a flat shader brush. And the base, the face, the brush is like really wide, so I feel like it covers a lot more. And this is kind of like a rose gold duochrome shimmer, and I think it's perfect for that glam look we're going for. FYI, if you can hear that, that is not my baby. That's TV. And I'm patting it. That way I'm not disturbing the shadow I've already laid down. Sometimes when you brush it on, you can move around the shadow. And this, we want to be very pigmented. So we pat it to make sure it sticks and it doesn't move. I really think everybody know I'm filming right now. They're making a ton of noise outside. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a more precise blending brush. I'm going to show you in just a second that it comes to a point. So it comes to a point so you can be a lot more precise with where you place your shadow. And I'm going to go into, actually going to go into my Modern Renaissance palette. I'm going to go into Love Letter. And it's kind of a purpley pink color. It's one of my favorite colors in the palette. And I'm just going to pat that on my outer corner, the outer V. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with that fluffy blending brush that I used earlier, and I'm just going to use it to blend out my crease area and make sure we get a nice easy transition in between those two colors, the Love Letter and the other color from the Zulu palette. And I didn't mention it, but if you noticed when I was doing the more precise brush, I held it a lot closer to the tip, and this helps you to be able to control that preciseness and to go directly to the area you want to put the shadow. It also helps for a heavier makeup application. So the closer to the edge you hold your brush, the heavier the shadow is going to go on. I'm going to go into my Queen Luxe Glitter Palette. I think I'm going to use this pink one right here. Hope you can see that. And I'm just going to go into the inner portion of my eye. I'm not going to do it all over like I had originally planned. Or maybe I should go to the middle. Let's see. Let's go to the middle and see how that does. Let's put a little glitter in the middle just to give it some extra shine. And I'm actually going to spray my brush. It's not really sticking the way I want it to. Then I'm going to go back in with the brush I used Love Letter on, and I'm going to just make sure everything's blended together. Okay, so now I'm going back into that Zulu palette, and I'm just going to do under my eyes with a pencil brush. So I've learned that if I keep kind of messing with it, poking with it, then it'll continue to move, the glue will dry up, and then it won't stick and things like that. So I try to place it and just leave it. And if I have to fix it, like lift it a little afterwards, then I'll do it once it dries. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that Zulu palette, and there's like this, actually I think it's the Festival palette, yeah, the Festival palette, and there's like this white iridescent color right here, this white iridescent color, and I'm going to put that in my inner corners, And I usually like to use like a small tip brush for this to go in there. And I'm just going to put a tad bit in my brow bone here. Okay, so that completes this look. I hope this was very helpful and informative for those who requested it. If there's any other looks or any other techniques that you would like me to film and like me to show, just leave it in the comment section below. If you're not already subscribed, then hit that little red subscribe button below. Let's get these numbers up, people. But I appreciate everyone that has subscribed, and I hope you continue to watch.